round. It's the second Miramar that was played off that is around this vicinity, so whoever books Hacienda is going to have a real good time. Here comes the rival Alter Ego as they strike down 2 members of Thundertalk. They're pretty much exposed. The entirety of the squad, they're just out there in the open, and just like that, BX, she will take 3 members down.
Alter Ego Ares came in looking to pop some heads, and the first victim that fell to their hands inside Miramar are those boys, the opposition of Thunder.
For the rest of Horror Esports to just swing right at the weekend side, swinging with a detonate, looking pixel perfect. And then Torres is definitely opening up the account right now, going for that full push.
Wow.
And just like that, it's all down to Woonty, who makes his debut. He needs to make it shine even brighter as he trades right back. But there's 2 members roaming right through on his left. He's trying to manage it with the couple of shells coming from the S12K. He does connect 1 shot, 2 down, and more to go. Bring it up to 4-9. He's going for the fastest spring. Can he seal the deal? It's Tony Clay that clutches and saves the day. And here comes No Fear.
Oh, yeah. The fight doesn't stop here, ladies and gents, but, okay, I was looking for the backup, okay. So, Vampire Esports, after what they did to D-Saver, now they're experiencing it as well. Tony K, he doesn't have anyone to back him up, and so Horror Esports, of course, is taking advantage of that one. But before they exited the game,
Let's dominate.
Sleepy saves the day. 5 points for Horror Esports. Man, that was close. I mean, the way Sleepy danced himself off, you know, waited for the right opportunity. Great timing. Man, it was a perfect clutch right there. And we're getting back into 4th rounds here, ladies and gents. We are at stage 5 with 8 teams remaining here. Alter Ego Air seems to be doing a great job as well. Although Zeta, coming from Void Donkey, was able to spot one out from Alter Ego Ares. And I think we're getting a lot of confirmation that some of the boys are getting picked off one by one. But we're looking at Zeta at the moment. Void Donkey already suffered 2 casualties, so it's 2 players active for this team. Now Zeta goes in for the charge here while Potato's cooking up the nade. Unfortunately, it was too late for him to let go of that nade. That's why he's currently on the ground right now, while Zeta is experiencing some trouble himself as well. But he is healing up, but does he have enough time, though?
Here comes LGD. It's third party upon third party in this entirety of the map. And they're just going to storm right through. They know that both Void Donkey as well as Alter Ego has been weakened up. So it's all about the scores right now. Just getting the angles right. He tries to hop over on the ledge, and it seems like there will be a retaliation. Zeta has to pull back, going on a little bit of a goose chase, but that's not quite cutting it over the margins as well. And finally, LGD comes knocking at the gates, and with the nade, LGD secures it.
Oh, man.
They've played this situation before. It was 4 tries that does secure the chicken dinner, so this time around, it seems like they're using exactly the same formula, and things are working out. They spot these members of Goo rotating over onto the outskirts. Just like that, we will see a couple of knocks going in favor inside the BTR.
This is going to be an exciting end zone game. I mean, we've got 4 Thrives, we've got BTR, we've got Horror Esports. GLU already out of the way here. Falak has been staying up north. He's not getting into any engagements here. But BTR, they
find a little bit more of that opening. And Federales spots the rest of Horror Esports on the pushes onto this current compound. So they are taking the fight to the Red Aliens.
Yeah, I mean, they had no choice but to push this compound. They don't really have that much option, but Bigatron, of course, already anticipated that one. They're prepared. They got into position here, and now we're looking at, of course, the last 2 teams remaining, which is 4 Thrives and BTR. But you see how 4 Thrives repositioned themselves to the northern side. So this is going to be exciting. I mean, again, they're trying to spread out. They're trying to control the pace here. They're trying to control the zone. But, of course, BTR, since they have a compound, they are still dictating the pace of the game here. They have the best chance of getting the chicken dinner just because they have this sanctuary working out for them.
Absolutely, and right now, down to Falak as well. They do have plenty of all these wiggle room, but a very tight corner of whatever crease that there is over onto these grounds. As BTR, they're just swarming over on the corners, just making sure that 4 Thrives does not get any free space climbing up there. Falak it's all down to that pickoff. If he can spot Federalis, that flank of BTR is going to be a goner.
Great vantage point coming from Federalis. Not gonna lie here. I mean, he is on top of that house and can probably monitor what Falak is doing. He needs to be careful though, because even if you do have that great vantage point, you are pretty exposed to other members of Force Tribes, and you can easily be picked up by any of them as well. So it does come with a lot of risk. But anyway, Bigatron still trying to figure out a way, the most effective way on how they can outsmart, outgun the boys of Force Tribes. It's a standoff still. Nobody's pushing hard just yet. Perhaps we're looking at stage 9 finish here, Contra.
It might just be the case. I mean, it's just very tactical coming in from both Force Tribes as well as BTR. And this is one of those full 4-on-4 fights that we don't always get throughout the Night of Champions, as they're taking their sweet time, just navigating, and Force Tribes just wants the rest of BTR to charge right at them, but they're not really leaving any chance. And now, even the zone forces Force Tribes to eventually bunch up together. So stage 8 is going to be a little bit tricky.
Yeah, and this is where it matters most. I mean, to show up. I mean, IQQ has always been known with his accurate shots, you know, even with a great distance. Long-range shots works effectively for him. He needs to take out Federalis because of against BTR, because they do have the upper hand advantage. Now, Satar's been making rounds. His scouting, he's been popping off those smokes as well to kind of conceal the location. Both teams are doing exactly just that. T24 is even scouting as well. But then again, you know, it's all about information gameplay at this point in the match here. And there goes Federalis with a massive spray, was able to give T24 a lot of damage. But then again, since T24 is driving a vehicle here, he does have that cover, and he can recuperate still in this situation. But the time is running out, ladies and gents. Even the space is running out. The Blue Ripper is out to get them, and Falak seems to be the first one who fell victim to Federalis.
And it's Razy that actually gets the knock right there, and this is where all the nades are primed right through. They know that the rest of Force Tribes are over on the corner, and they find her one this time. Federalis makes damn sure there's no corners or stones left unturned.
And here we go, we got a player from BTR who's currently knocked down as well, but this is it. Now or never, ladies and gents. Noki tried to make a difference, but unfortunately, BTR does have the upper hand in this situation. And with that accurate shot coming from Federalis rather, BTR, no doubt, was able to secure that win. Down members of Tiamba, but they were able to put one. But we can see that RQ right now is just crossing. They needed to get close because it could be hard for them to win up against Tianba if they are that far and over to the rocky side of that place.
That knock is just all it takes. I mean, as much as it was enough pressure, but the rest of the members of Tianba is spread a little bit too thin. They are trying to form up another flank angle from the top side of the kill. This might be able to maybe navigate up against one or two members of RRQ, but it's far too little too late to actually save the member who was knocked over. Meanwhile, a pickup by the streets! D-Saber! They're onto something cheeky by the corner bridges, and just like that, they got weirded down. Let's go favor to the side of Tampa as they try to cut their way across. Nate T is going to be the casualty of that skirmish.
It was a missed opportunity. I mean, obviously, D-Savior, they had the element of surprise there, but it wasn't able to put down that player. But anyway, here comes the cavalry, though. D-Savior will definitely avenge their fallen comrade here. They're hunting down this last remaining player coming from Tiamba, but I'm not sure if they've already smelled blood. But let's see what's going to happen, because there's a need for everyone to get inside the zone, and most of the teams that stayed from the main peninsula are already inside the circle. Team Flash as well as ASI8 and Void Donkey, they still have some traveling to do. But for D-Savior, okay, two of them already out of the game, so it's just Patagene and Woon here. And okay, they are already inside the zone over to the east side, pretty close to where RQ is, so perhaps they'll find each other. I think Woon already found them.
Yes, speaking of which, D-Saver, despite those two losses, is still vying for a whole lot more. And just like that, they're just slowly singling out more and more of all these players out there. They're playing with their main roster, hence there's no Batman for now. Meanwhile, Paragen almost actually hit the mark up against these members of RQ. He does have the cover of the rocks, but these are the two members. They're on the flank. They're pushing upwards. Naga gets taken down, and that is Woon, who is taking charge, getting his teammates covered up.
Woon is wooing me off my feet here. Batman come from Team Flash. Yeah, that is the guy. You know, I've always been amazed at his gameplay, even if he was in a Team Flash before all of this. D Savior still performing well up against RQ. I mean, obviously RQ was on a 2-2 split there, but great spot, great support there coming from Woon. Hence, you know, D Savior still surviving this one. No Good is bleeding out there in the open, but a pickup will definitely be a little difficult since it's out there in the open. But Parangen still hunting down some of the members of RQ across the road. I'm not sure if they're going to find him, but Razy from BTR. Oh man, he's pretty angry with that spray.
Yeah, but they consider the fact that it was a tandem that they brought in the quarter. Well, yeah, this is where the rest of ASI. BTR, I'm not too sure if they do have enough time to even go for a pickup because the damage from Blue Zone will chip in, so it might not be worth it. And now that's going to be a really big entry for the side of BTR. So coming to the pressure coming in from other teams trying to attack upon them, so he's not really going for that full-on trade up against Team Flash, but they rock up into the wrong corner. They haven't really checked the monster truck, and just like that, it's gonna be a 1-for-1. Doc still managing to respond in kind, but he's just got him pretty much exposed for the back as well. But there is still another member coming in for the Cavalry win now. Being brought down to so low, but they win the trade. Team Flash popping up with 7 points.
And his Red Force actually was caught in the middle there. I mean, there were a lot of bullets headed towards their direction, and well, yeah, it was a vulnerable spot to begin with. 7 teams remaining, just like that. Zone here, because he picked up the information that BTR is slowly creeping in and might do a backstab up against Refus of For Miracle Vibes. So there you go. I mean, Jal spotted Satar. And that's what we were talking about just a while ago. Now BTR, 1 less member, and it's not a great spot to be honest because Thunder Talk is pretty close to them as well. We've got a Vember Esports Onsen getting spotted as well by former. Wow, information gameplay is top notch for 4NV.
Yep, it definitely looks superb so far. Razy now securing that point as BTR trades right back Zyle. You have a bunker of a vehicle, like the hovercraft for them to spot themselves out. Tony K spotted on the rotation, and they are going on a dominating streak. 5 can still go in for a mass rotation, but I guess that there's just going to be barely enough room to squeeze past. But here comes the rest of that part. Esports, they're climbing right behind the bunker. Rifus just drops in a couple of these nades, trying to hold them back. Are looking at Onsens to be working alongside with Shrevs to see if he could just single out this member. Rifus.
Guys, pass through the west side, the east side rather, and we'll pass through the west bridge to get to the zone safely.
In which we're already seeing an altercation break loose over on the north point where they're fighting for that patrol station. Void Donkey. Oh, this is gonna be really tough as BTR is slowly starting to smoke onto them. Closing in the distance, Razy might just actually be able to nade them all down as they're on the outskirts inside of being indoors of the current gas station. They did manage to squeeze past, but take a look at the rest of BTR. They're already closing right in. Federalis just squeezing the right angles, forcing Razak to be pretty much pinned down. Well, that is just for the commitment. They will cut 1 member out of that cause. Donkey, they're just trying themselves to defend to the best of their capabilities, but this area is just too tough for them to hold, especially with even shots being fired from above.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I don't even understand why teams choose to take position in this spot because it's really hard to defend.
Well, I guess like usually it's really good for you to just hold out for a temporary measure as a pit stop. Or if it's going to be a super late game scenario where you are just hoping to just hold for some form of cover, but being this early is not really for you much of a repeat. But Voxie, oh my, that was pretty close as they managed to still clear out the rest of Boindaki, but Boindaki kind of make it a little bit more painful. I guess there goes my prediction. I mean, I kind of thought it's either nifty pick off out here. Alter Ego still in a really tough spot overall. As you can see that they're yet to pick up their fallen members out there. Makin now trying to flush that position out of these members of seem to be their squad or so, but I could be absolutely wrong. Federales actually gets his catch. Very sharp eyes coming up from Federales. Expect nothing less coming from the best of the Philippines.
Mm-hmm. Do you know that he has another nickname? It's not the Filipino Terminator anymore, or another Fede. Anyway, Hora Esports right now getting into the game. Even though they're down to just 2 players, they are not afraid to engage. And right now they have to set their eyes on the boys of Alter Ego. Whereas one of them is currently knocked down, which puts them in a little bit of a pickle here. But X66 tried to went in for charge, but failed at the moment.
Yeah, perfect angle coverage coming in from the members of 4 Tribes as they are shredding apart these members of Alter Ego. Pretty much exposed by the corner 3. Just one tap is all it takes. T24 does it install. What a solid defense, and we thought that it would be tough, and it definitely would be while BTR just arrives to the scene, but are unwilling to commit because they just saw what happened to Alter Ego. If they do have grenades, it's the perfect time to pop it right in.
Ooh, man, again, 4 Thrives getting crushed by BTR. Here comes Satar leading the charge, and that is it for 4 Thrives, ladies and gents, getting a taste of their own medicine served by Bigatron. They exited the game, though, with 3 elimination points, so they're still A-OK. This is just day number 1, but for BTR, strong finish there with 7 elimination points, so, I mean, there's still plenty more to go, because we still got 7 teams remaining here. Now, jumping into Vampire Esports and D+Kia, we were talking about D+Kia just a while ago and how they're being passive at the moment. So I don't know how long they're going to last in this situation because Vampire Esports is about ready to get charged.
Yeah, speaking of which, there are just 25 members of D+Kia, and it's down to also to just hold on the line. Not quite enough. Too many members out of Vampires to deal with at the moment, and just like that, Vampire Esports have been able to just secure pretty much everything online down to Fabian, and Camel makes it quick work. So Shreps, my guy out there, have secured the 7th point for Vampire Esports.
Okay, all right, waiting for my my anxiety-induced music. Okay, there goes the background music. BTR, okay, they have the best chance of scoring the chicken dinner for this round. We can see that No Fear trying to flush out the boys of Vampire Esports from that compound. They have 24% total of also getting the winner chicken, which is right next to BTR. Hora, they are like sharks right now up against Vampire. They are circling and just scouting the area, getting into position. And Vampire Esports, well, we know this, boys, and they're not pushover, so here comes the attack. Here comes the charge. Divide and conquer for the side of VPE. They're in a 2-2 split here. And Hora kind of, okay, we're not taking this fight for now.
Yeah, they understand that actually this entire squad of Vampire Esports is still intact because they saw that fight happening. They wanted to eavesdrop for a little bit, but since it's 4 players against 2, they definitely have to fall back. Everybody on wheels, BTR also repositioned where eventually we saw even BTR closed in, so it was definitely a smarter move coming from Hora to pull all the way back. But just by driving by, you can see how much info these teams have been able to gain. No fear being all alone inside the shack though. He's gonna be preparing that grenade to drop at whoever drives nearby. Tony K going on a car chase! Oh, is this gonna be a efficient one because they're driving into the trap set by BTR.
Okay, here we go. Razy right behind this. Bulger just went in for a molly, but he's getting tagged from up above. They've got Federales on the ground as well. He's bleeding out, but Tony K also received the major backstab right there. Onzen right now very low in HP. I mean, it's chaotic at the moment. Ventoras just took a hit. But, yeah, does he have time to heal up, though? Jiggle trying to get close. Oh, he will capitalize on this one.
Yeah, he's trying to steal whatever fallen members there is. You can see Jiggle's just looking for Glue Squad as well. Oh, the 2 titans that fought each other are now being pinched and sandwiched in between. And this is just a dark world with No Fear getting one more on the block up against Glue Squad as Blast Punk is already on the ground. BTR did not match.
Whew, okay, IQQ had already been picked up, so that will allow for Thrives, of course, to still dominate up against M9 here. We already have one of them currently knocked down on the ground, which is, of course, not a good sign on the side of M9. Ooh, what a way to dodge this attack. Unfortunately, he doesn't have that much space to work with, and so he finds himself knocked down on the ground as well. So far, it has already been 5 eliminations for 4 Thrives. Looking at the screen, Falak needed a boost up because the fight continues on.
Yeah, have decent areas of coverage for the rest of the pack out there, which is why we understand why
capitalized on that one, which makes this a fair fight, for them. If Inoki will not be picked up, then that is good for the side of M9. Here comes the attack now coming from Vampire Esports. We've got double X over here. Rogue Warrior, ladies and gents, with a DBS. One wrong move, and it could be meaning demise. But unfortunately, he was the one that got shut down onto the ground, hence Vampire Esports.
what I mentioned before. He just gotta play for placement points. Superboy, the hero of the moment, now falls with the bang of the grenade being tossed right.
Void and Donkey, we haven't seen them really pop off in any given situation here, but then again, this is day number 1, ladies and gents. And Thunder Talk Gaming, a nice spot, from behind, was able to shut down Void Donkey. He didn't even give time, for Void Donkey to respond, and that is, of course, the best tactic that you can do. Razak is still waiting for the rest of the team here to come and rescue him, but Zeta unfortunately caught a nade to the face and then a shotgun to end things.
Yeah, things are looking to be very slow pace for the side of Void Donkey. Thunder Talk now on the aggression somehow overwhelms, and suddenly the rest of RQ have arrived at the scene because they heard noises coming in from the shack, and they don't care who's inbound. They're just gonna clear it all out, and just like that, RQ will just shred the rest of Thunder Talk Game.
What, 5 elimination points? So it's I can say it's a great start.
Definitely is, and they are in the best location possible by the center of the map, on top of the hill as well. You can just slowly pick apart players, just like how the Savior is earlier. So just perfect timing for vibes.
Yeah, the Savior is vulnerable right now for any attack to happen. I mean, Levi's and another member right there is getting attacked by 4 Miracle Vibes.
Not just ESIA, this is their best chance ever at a chicken dinner whole day long, and all they really have to do is to find a way to flush out Langsung Red Force.
And again, 4 Miracle Vibes took a bidding there. Now
he tries to trade right back, but he might just actually draw too much of attention. And speaking of which, the nades fall true! Oh, it's actually DX versus the rest of RRQ, and they're really neck and neck right now. Paragen looking to close off the distance as the rest of RQ are being weakened down.
Well, to be fair, it wasn't really a great spot for RQ. I mean, the Savior, all they needed to do is just really optimize their position. And now NS Red Force caught ASI 8, and well, they just got obliterated. That was a great stunt pulled off by NS Red Force. Not gonna lie there. I mean, ASI 8 now down to just 1 member, and now we've got Nurpeg of RQ trying desperately to make something for the team here, but the Savior, man, all pressure, of course, leading the charge there and winning the fight with the 6 elimination points. Now they have a chance to pick up Natty in the process.
Right, and just a little bit of a sticky situation. The rest of the Savior are just trying to push right through, climbing the hillside. A little bit difficult, but the nades are bounced perfectly. Oh my goodness, XZY, that's a double nade without it looking perfectly onto the angle. And just like that, 2 members needing to climb downwards. And take a look at TZ, he's on a push. And just like that, the rest of DX find themselves pretty much in a pickle.
Ooh, man, that was a great force that was put out by NS Red Force, living up to their reputation. But the Savior still desperately trying to defend themselves and was able to do so. NS Red Force exited the game with 10 eliminations, still safe down there at the compound south part area of the zone.
Yeah, there's just still such a tight battle between some of these guys out here. Saber managing to recuperate, and of course, Langsung first eventually kind of tunnel vision over onto that corner, which sees that retaliation come into grand effect. Now, going down into this 3 versus 1 scenario, there's still damage to be done. Of course, Nate is going up against the members of Former Blast. Pops now going for a push! Not quite close just yet, but we're looking at this all coming down to this final couple of moments. And here comes the exchanges falling right through. It seems like it's just a big, massive W for the rest of the Saber. Now, it's FedEx versus the rest.
You know why it was so interesting to see Woon go up against Stubbs? Because again, Woon is Batman coming from Team Flash, right? So it's a young gun versus a veteran. And Woon actually won that fight fair and square up against Stubbs. So that is definitely going to my highlights. And now this is what we have been waiting for, ladies and gents. Fede will now start to defend himself. Now we've seen a molly being thrown at him by Levi's. Definitely these two guys are going to flush him out, but Federal is cooking a nade himself. Now we're not discounting the fact that perhaps Fede can actually make something happen for the team, but unfortunately Inferno just got sent by Dinga's Savior, hence putting down